That one machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men. No machine can do the work of one extraordinary man. Ladies and gentlemen, as technology keeps advancing every second as I speak, the idea cannot be more relevant. Innovation and new frontiers in any field is a result of extraordinary human beings' brain power and sheer dedication. Today,
We pluck the fruits of yesterday's innovation, and I am sure tomorrow we will soar high as humankind to great heights resulting from hard work and dedication of a group of extraordinary humans who have put in work to build new frontiers in healthcare of Sri Lanka.
Exactly. With that, we are here to witness the inauguration ceremony of Gmoa Medical Association's annual academic sessions for the 84th consecutive year, focusing on health frontiers and technological advancement and advanced medical education. The Gmoa Medical Association, established 84 years ago, is an esteemed collective of dedicated healthcare professionals united by a common mission to advance the boundaries of medical knowledge, practice, and compassion. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now witness the numerous achievements we as a society has achieved during the year of 2025.
And now we witness the arrival of the distinguished members of our association who have tirelessly contributed to the progress and prestige of the medical community with our chief guest and guest of honor for the day. In the ceremonial procession, ladies and gentlemen, please rise from your seats for the ceremonial procession.
अरे साइड पे कितनी नजर आई नहीं
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem.
Thank you, everyone. We as Sri Lankans tend to root back to our culture and heritage wherever we go. We passed from one generation to another. And with that, let us light the traditional oil lamp, symbolizing goodwill and blessings for success and harmony. And for this, let me invite the President of Galle Medical Association, Professor M.P. Samaravikrama, the Chief Guest of 84th Annual Academic Sessions of Galle Medical Association, Professor Kudabi Galkatia, the Guest of Honor, Professor Ruwan Gopura, Immediate Past President, Dr. Vimalasiri Uluwattage, President-elect, Dr. Ganakasena Ratna, Orator of 84th Annual Academic Sessions of Galle Medical Association, Dr. Avendra Jawardana, Representing past presidents of the Goa Medical Association, Emeritus Professor P.L. Aryananda, the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna, Senior Professor T.P. Veeraratna, Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Prasad Ranavira, Director at National Hospital Gaul, Dr. Ranka Sabhapatige, Director at German Sri Lanka Friendship Hospital for Women, Dr. K. M. Somratna, representing medical students, Ms. K. A.V.P. Santoshi, the Joint Secretaries of the Goa Medical Association, Professor Janaki Varshahannadi and Dr. Lahiru Prabodha. As this flame of light dispelled the darkness, may it also illuminate our hearts and minds with freedom, harmony, and prosperity, guiding us towards success. Thank you, everyone. You may have your seats now.
To formally begin the 84th Annual Academic Sessions of the Gaul Medical Association, now I would like to cordially invite the following distinguished guests to take their seats at the head table. The President of the Gaul Medical Association, Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, our Chief Guest, Professor Kuda B. Galkatia, former Professor in Surgery, University of Peradeniya, Associate Professor, University of Monash, Australia. The guest of honor, Professor Ruan Gopura, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies and Senior Professor in Mechanical Engineering, University of Moratuwa. The orator of the 84th Annual Academic Sessions, Dr. Avindra Jayawardena, Senior Lecturer and Head, Medical Education and Staff Development Unit, Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna, and the Joint Secretaries of the Gaul Medical Association, Professor Janaki Varshahannadi and Dr. Lahiru Prabodha.
Thank you very much. It is now my honor to invite the President of Gaul Medical Association, Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, to deliver the presidential address.
Good evening. Distinguished Chief Guest, Professor Kudabi Galkatia, Guest of Honor, Professor Ruan Gopura, GMA Orator 2025, Dr. Avindra Jayawardena, Directors of National Hospital Galle and German Sri Lanka Friendship Hospital for Women, Karapitia, Dean Faculty of Medicine, past presidents and council members of the Galle Medical Association, presidents of the other academic association and colleges, invited guests, esteemed colleagues, members of the medical profession, students, friends, and well-wishers. It is with great pride and pleasure that I, as the President of the Galle Medical Association, welcome all of you to the inaugural ceremony of Annual Academic Session, Galle Medical Association 2025. This event is a celebration not only for academic excellence, but also for our collective commitment to advancing healthcare and medical knowledge for the benefit of our community. The Galle Medical Association, founded in 1940 as the Galle Clinical Society, is the second oldest medical association in Sri Lanka. It was renamed as the Galle Medical Association in 1992. The new name reflected the expanding scope and membership following the inception of Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna. For over 84 years, it has served as a pillar of academic and professional unity in the southern province. Through the dedication of our past presidents, members, and supporters, GMA has become a respected platform where clinicians, researchers, and educators come together to share knowledge on advanced healthcare delivery and to educate the health community. Despite many challenges faced by our nation in the recent years, including political, health, social, and economic turbulences, GMA remains resilient and committed to its mission. We are now entering into a more stable period, carrying forward the valuable lessons learned during the past difficult period. Embracing modern technology, we have integrated advanced tools in healthcare delivery, diagnosis, treatment, and medical education. Aligning with this vision, the theme selected for this year's annual academic session is Health Frontiers Through Technological Advancement and Advanced Medical Education. This theme highlights the commitment of GMA to innovation and continuing learning. This year academic sessions include 4 symposia and 4 plenary sessions in addition to the other academic events, featuring eminent speakers who will share insight into clinical practice and explore how technology is reshaping modern medicine. These discussions are not merely academic. They are practical steps toward a healthier future for our patients and for our community. Though today we are equipped with modern advanced technology in patient diagnosis and treatment, it has taken many years, perhaps many decades, to develop them up to this stage. While technology influences providing better health care for the patients and community, the medical education also plays a crucial role in producing doctors who are equipped with knowledge, skills, attitude that go along with these modern technological advances in applications. Galle, with its rich history, has always been a center of learning and progress. When Portuguese arrived in 1505, they established a hospital within the Galle fort, marking the beginning of Western medicine in Sri Lanka. The British later expanded access to health care, establishing free hospital for the local population. The opening of Mahamodar Hospital in 1869 was a milestone for southern province. In 1980, with the founding of Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna, it became a teaching hospital, a pivotal moment in the evolution of healthcare and medical education in the south. The teaching hospital Karapitia was established in 1981 to expand the clinical training facilities to medical students as well as to expand the patient's care services in the region. In 2024, it was elevated to status of national hospital, reflecting its importance as a center of excellence for the entire country. Today, the National Hospital Goal is one of the largest tertiary care institutions in Sri Lanka, with a bed strength of more than 2,800. It is equipped with state-of-the-art facilities that allow early diagnosis, timely intervention, and minimally invasive procedures, saving lives and improving outcome for thousands every year. On the other side of the road where we are today, the Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna began its journey with a clear vision to provide high-quality medical education to the southern province and to contribute to Sri Lanka's healthcare system. Over the years, the faculty expanded in physical infrastructure, human resources, and number of medical students. Meanwhile, change in teaching and assessment methods to match new educational reforms. Recognizing the importance of technology in education, the faculty has invested in digital infrastructure and provide smart classroom equipped with multimedia facilities for interactive teaching. Students are given the opportunity to access internet, enabling online teaching, virtual meeting, and access to global medical resources. These developments let the undergraduate and postgraduate students learn in a rich environment with advanced laboratories, simulation centers, and digital learning tools. Where we once relied on imaginations, students now benefit from virtual imaging and streaming videos on smart devices, enabling them to understand the structure and function of human body and pathophysiology of certain diseases and their pathogenesis as in real. However, we must also recognize an important challenge. Technology should complement and should not replace the fundamentals of good clinical practice. We sometimes see students relying too heavily on investigations or devices at the expense of thorough history taking and physical examination. This fact appeared true when listening to some of their presentations, when they say, this patient presents with abdominal pain and ultrasound is normal, or ultrasound findings have some abnormalities, ignoring the importance of basic history of pain and associated factors and examination findings. On the other hand, when we ask a question at tutorial or a word class, they look at and get the help of their smart devices in hand without thinking or trying to remember the basics they learned. Therefore, we must remind our future doctors that technology is a supportive tool, not a complete substitution for clinical reasoning and working through basics. Therefore, as educators, clinicians, and mentors, we have a responsibility to guide our students and junior doctors to ensure they use technology appropriately, stay grounded in the basics, and never lose the human touch that defines good medicine. Let us remember that progress is a shared responsibility. Together as clinicians, researchers, educators and students, we have the power to shape the future healthcare in our region. Let's blend tradition with innovation, compassion with technology, and science with humanity. Dear ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I must show gratitude to those who make this memorable inaugural ceremony and academic sessions to come from tomorrow a reality. First and foremost, my sincere thanks to our co-secretaries and PICs of the main organizing committees, whose tireless dedication and meticulous planning have been a backbone of this event. My appreciation also goes to all members of the organizing committee and our two managerial assistants, Sureka and Savitri, whose hard work ensured that every detail was carefully attended to. I extend my gratitude to our resource person who generously agreed to share their knowledge and expertise enriching this academic program. I also wish to acknowledge our sponsors. Without their generous support, this event would not be a possibility. To all our invitees and participants, thank you for gracing this occasion. Your participation adds meaning and inspiration to our effort. I must show special gratitude to our chief guest, Professor Kudabi Galkatia, and the guest of honor, Professor Ruwan Gopura, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join with this evening. Your presence is great honor for the Gold Medical Association and a true encouragement to us. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this year's annual academic session, I invite you all to engage fully, share generously, and be inspired by actively participating in the rest of annual academic sessions, starting from tomorrow. May these sessions spark new ideas, foster meaningful collaboration, and contribute to healthier, brighter future for our community. Finally, once again, I warmly welcome you all to this inaugural ceremony of annual academic session, Gold Medical Association 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those uplifting words. We are truly honored to have Professor Ruwan Gopura, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies and Senior Professor in Mechanical Engineering, University of Moratuwa, as our guest of honor for today, who have contributed immensely to the field of robotics and biomechatronics. To formally introduce our distinguished guest of honor, I would like to invite Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, President of the Gold Medical Association, to the podium.
It is my great privilege to introduce our guest of honor this evening, Senior Professor Ruwan Gopura, a distinguished academic and a researcher in the field of mechanical engineering, robotics and biomechatronics. Professor Gopura obtained his PhD in robotics and intelligent system from Saga University, Japan, following his bachelor's and master's degrees at the University of Moratuwa. He currently serves as the Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Senior Professor in Mechanical Engineering at the University of Moratuwa. He has also held several key leadership positions, including Founder Head of the Department of Medical Technology, Director of Research and Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering at University of Moratuwa. A prolific researcher, Professor Gopura has published widely with more than 3,000 citations to his name and holds 5 granted patents. He has successfully led several prestigious national and international research collaborations, including major projects with Imperial College London, and has guided a large number of postgraduate and undergraduate research students. His outstanding contribution to research and innovation have earned him numerous awards, including the Outstanding Research Performance Award at the University of Moratuwa on 12 occasions, the Susrate Award for Research Supervision from the National Science Foundation, and multiple awards from the International Conference Best Paper. He is a recipient of several international and national research grants for his research work. He is also a prominent figure in professional circles, having served as an editor and reviewer of national and international journals, and has been a chair in a number of conferences, and has delivered keynote and plenary speeches in international and national conferences. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor for us to have a person on this caliber with us today. Please join me in warmly welcoming Senior Professor Ruwan Gopura to deliver his address as the guest of honor of the Gold Medical Association Annual Academic Session 2025.
Right, very good evening, and thank you, Professor Samarikrama, for a nice introduction. Chief guest, Professor Galkatia, and members of the Gold Medical Association. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee as well as the president for inviting me for the 84th annual academic session of the Gold Medical Association. Of course, one of my friends who worked with me at the University of Moratuwa Medical Faculty introduced me for this occasion. And I could see some familiar faces as well because they worked at the University of Moratuwa Medical Faculty while I was the head of the medical technology. So University of Moratuwa, of course, some of you know that in the medical faculty we have medical technology department. So medical technology department pioneers are from the University of Moratuwa, and now I think University of Colombo also have a department. I hope that soon Ragama faculty will also start the medical technology department or similar kind of curricula for the medical graduates. Aligning with the theme of the conference or the sessions, I wanted to have something related to medical technology. So that's why I selected this topic, Health Frontiers Through Technological Innovation, the role of medical technology in a changing world. So you know that current as well as coming societies are rapidly changing. So we could see in the COVID-19 situations, COVID-19 period, how the world changed. So in this changing world, what is the role of medical technology? So that is what I am going to discuss today. So mainly I will be discussing about what is medical technology. I think most of you have an idea what is medical technology, but we will little bit discuss about medical technology and then role of the medical technology in the changing world. What will be the role? So we will discuss those, and then recent innovation and development related to this area will be touching up a little bit. And since we are working related to medical technology as well as biomedical engineering, some of the work that we have carried out at the University of Moratuwa, Bionics Laboratory, I will be briefly present. And even such kind of works are now carrying out at the University of Moratuwa Medical Faculty in the Medical Technology Department for their research, medical technology research. And this area, I think a lot of development should be done in the Sri Lankan context. So I'll be concluding my discussion at the end, giving a vision for the Sri Lanka. So let's start with what is medical technology. So I think most of you know what is medicine, because you all are medical professionals. And some of you might know what is technology. But usually when I have lectures for the medical undergraduate at the first year, what I define first is science, and then engineering, and then medicine, and then technology. Then how those fields are interrelated. That's what I did in undergraduate lectures. Therefore, in here also, in order to have a platform, I thought of discussing what is medical technology. And medicine, I think I don't want to explain what is medicine. Most of you are medical professionals, you know that. But what is medicine? Medicine is not a science, not only a science, but it's also art. And it is a practice. And important thing is, the practice is used for diagnosis, treatment, prevention of diseases, as well as monitoring, and also now for the care as well. So now we know the medicine. So then what is technology? From the science, if you want to develop something like a product, equipment, machine, some kind of a practice, process, those we call technology. So previously, technology word coming from Greek word like craft and techniart and the way of doing things. And mainly, the technology includes some kind of a tangible thing. From the science, in order to come to technology, so there is a path that we call engineering. So that is the relation between science, technology, and engineering. So now we know what is technology. So then we will see what are the definitions of medical technology. So there are different definitions. As I mentioned earlier, technology, we can briefly mention it as technology applied in medicine, or technology applied in diagnosis, treatment, monitoring, as well as care, and also prevention. So in Science Direct, so they have defined technology as the application of science to develop solution to health problems. In Asia Pacific Medical Technology Association, private entity, so they have defined the medical technology as the technologies that diagnose, treatment, and improve the personal health and well-being of a person, so we can say patient. So medical technology, now we have some kind of understanding. So from the medical technology, we can develop products, services, or solutions used to save and improve people's lives. So you can see here 3D printed hip joint, which is a kind of a product related to medical technology. So in the medical technology, practical application is there from science. From the science, we will develop something that that is related to medical technology. So it gives benefits to the community and offers prevention, diagnosis, monitoring, treatment, and care. So we will watch a video. I hope that sound is working. So the video we have created for the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka magazine, online magazine. In our
Many factors that affect the human quality of life can be addressed by medical technologies. It is termed as the use of technological knowledge, tools and systems to protect the organisms from disease, harm or death. Such technology facilitates prevention, diagnosis, treatment, monitoring, and care. The solutions provided by medical technology can be simple solutions, mid-level solutions, and high-tech solutions.
So I'm sure you got some idea about medical technology from that video as well. So the medical technology plays a key role in the sustainable development goals as well. So sustainable development goal number 3, good health and well-being, is related to medical technologies. Since now you have an idea about medical technologies, so now we will look at what is the role of medical technology in the changing world. So main role is to support, facilitate for the stakeholder in the healthcare sector to develop the sector. For that, medical technology advances healthcare by providing a wide range of tools, devices, systems, sometimes protocols, and product. And also it provides advanced support to the medical professionals. Not only that, it facilitates for the medical education as well. In coming slides, I will be discussing about how it can support for the medical education. Overall, medical technology has key roles. Support for the diagnosis and prevention, treatment and therapy, as well as patient monitoring and care, and improving efficiency and patient outcomes, and also empowering patients. Now, patients are empowered through different health apps, platforms, and portals, so they can get different information, and through the apps they can communicate with the medical professionals, and also they can manage their health condition efficiently with different medical technologies. So then we will go to the recent innovations and developments. So there are a lot of recent innovations in medical technologies. So I have given few there. So there are many. I have given few. Healthcare simulation, especially virtual reality and augmented reality systems, and some other realities are available, like mixed reality, and different terms are there. So healthcare simulations, especially support for the healthcare education. And telehealth, of course, you know that with the COVID-19 situation in the world, so a lot of telehealth platforms, apps developed, and wearable health technologies. So you can wear, of course, some of you know, different devices which can monitor the vital signs and monitor the healthy as well as patient's condition. In addition to that, robots are involved in medical field as well. Medical robotic systems are there for the training of medical professionals as well as carrying out some surgeries. And also development of some special kind of robotic devices like bionic devices, which we can understand as robotic, prosthetic and orthotic devices for physically weak persons as well as amputated persons are one other recent innovations and development. In addition to that digital tattoos are there, which are non-invasive temporary tattoos, which can be used for the patient monitoring, especially to get the vital signs through the different sensors and electronics available in the tattoos. And of course, because of the rapid development of the AI, so there are some other innovations. Even the field I have mentioned in the why it's not there? I thought it's there in the screen. It is. I don't know which slide, so you didn't. And now it's okay, right? Can we fix the problem or shall I continue? Right, okay, thank you. So you can see digital tattoos there in here, which can provide support for the patient for patient monitoring. And the right side you can see a special kind of electrode developed by Elon Musk, Neuralink, which can be inbuilt inside the scalp so that brain signal can be extracted, and those brain signal can be used for many purposes like controlling robotic devices and many other purposes as well. So this video, I think I do not have enough time to run this video, but I will briefly run this video.
The top 10 most promising medical technologies that will heavily impact how, when and where we receive care.
This is Bertalan Mesco, and you're watching the channel of the Medical Teachers.
Digital health technologies are booming and there are so many of them. But if I step back and look at the big picture, it gets easier to point at those that will have the biggest impact on medicine and healthcare. Augmented reality can help surgeons become more efficient by projecting additional information into their site, so they don't have to move or change monitors. They could literally zoom in and out of patients during operations. The complex technology basically empowers surgeons with X-ray views in real time without any radiation exposure. Nurses could also find veins more easily by taking blood samples. Virtual reality can be used for stress release and for reducing pain for hospitalized patients. The immersive virtual environment brings patients to Iceland or under the sea. It helps deal with anxiety, phobias, and even addiction to drugs and alcohol. It's also amazing at distracting children while getting vaccinations. In robotics, exoskeletons are magnificent metallic creatures. They can help a human being move around and lift huge weights. They can help medical professionals get through long hours of surgery without getting tired. Moreover, they can let paralyzed people walk again. Some surgical robots will become autonomous, and we can expect to see robot companions walking around in hospitals and elderly homes soon. artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize healthcare. The abilities of smart algorithms in natural language processing and computer vision are getting better day by day. These algorithms can process millions of study points in seconds and support medical professionals in finding the best treatment pathways through offering evidence-based options. AI can help reorganize healthcare facilities and supervise literally the entire process of providing care. It's amazing what we can achieve with 3D printing in healthcare. The FDA approved the first 3D printed drug.
Right, with that we stop that video. But if you are interested, so you can watch the channel, YouTube channel. Usually I am not promoting YouTube channels, but this is a very important channel, especially for the medical professionals who are interested in technology. So this is the channel if you are interested. So the channel run by consultant, so therefore it's the content included is genuine as well as probably not a fake content is there. So with that, I will explain one medical technology, the healthcare simulation or the simulators. So I hope you know what is a simulator. It is simulation is a process of mimicking the real world process, events, incidents or systems in a virtual environment. So we have virtual reality simulators, augmented reality simulators and many types. In the healthcare, especially for the mannequin based simulators and task trainers as well as anatomy based simulators are there. So these systems mimic the operation of the real world process and the systems. So the simulation is very important in medical education because it can give deliberate practice with feedback and can expose to the uncommon events as well as reproducibility, and you can do the task repeatedly. So no harm for the patient, no real patient is there. An opportunity for the assessment of the learners in the education as well as, especially because of absence of the risk, patient, no patient and no risk for the patient. So in the present world, not only the real life systems like patients, but also simulators are used. So the simulators plus real world system give greater benefit and advantage. So I can remember, I think I want to mention this now. In Sri Lankan context, a lot of patients are there, right? But in the future, so you cannot say we have enough patients. So you have to go with these kind of systems as well. All right, so then we will look at some of the work that we have done at the Bionics laboratory at the University of Moratuwa. So this is the laboratory which developed different medical related robotic devices. And especially in order to develop Bionics related device, we need gate lab. We have gate lab as well. I think recently Institute of Sport Medicine developed a very good gate lab. And these are some of the robots that we have developed still in the prototype level at the University of Moratuwa Bionics laboratory. So this is a meal assistance robot. So you can see 3 bins are there. So near the 3 bins you can see LED panels are blinking. So 3 LED panels related to 3 food basket or bins emitting different frequencies. Then if the person look at the bin, what happens is he can see the LED blink and the same frequency signal is generated at the brain. So that principle we use to identify the bin, and then robot goes to the bin and take the food and feed the food into the mouth. So you can see at the end of the robot, so there is a camera. So camera look at the mouth position, especially lip position, and until the lip open, robot wait there, and after the lip opens, the robot feed the food to the physically weak person. So this the prototype we have developed a few years back at the Bionics laboratory. And then brain control wheelchair. So we have GTech research brain signal extraction system. So using this system, BCI system, initially we have to do a lot of training. So this is artificial neural network training. And then while the patient or the person look at the screen of the computer based on the symbol in the screen, identifying the symbol based on the brain signal, so the robot manipulator there can be controlled. So you can see the symbols up, down, left, right. So when the person look at the symbol, the EMG pattern, brain signal pattern generated, based on that we can control the robot. And also the system can control the wheelchair as well. Right, and then so this is one other prosthetic device that we have developed to control based on the EMG signal.
I grasp.
So again there is a sound problem, but the prosthetic device is transradial one for different grasping patterns.
Twisting and clutching in it. Beyond.
So different grasping patterns can be generated. So this is one of the project that we have carried out with the NIHR funded project with Imperial College London.
The University of Moratuwa are honoured to have contributed with 3 successful research ventures to the betterment of the local and international biomedical engineering fields. Firstly, they analysed how similar biomaterials are to the human bone material. Then, bone fixator prototypes were created with all Sri Lankan resources, which were validated by the gold standard for fixator. Following this, the feasibility of these fixators were tested and clinical testing was conducted in the hope of commercializing locally manufactured bone fixators. These extraordinary research ventures allowed the golden opportunity to collaborate with a reputed research team from the Imperial College London. Constructed translational research, produced 2 successful PhD students, brought in financial aid to recruit more researchers and expanded the scope of their work. It is with pride that they represent all their hard work that will surely bring about an advancement in the biomedical engineering field.
Right, this might be the last device that we have developed and I am presenting here today. So this is a surgery assist robot, and the robot give the tools to the surgeon. How this can be practically implemented, we have to have some discussions. So we had a surgeon in this team as well, and what the robot does is based on the hand gestures of the surgeon, so it can give the different tools to the surgeon. So these are some of the other devices and robots that we have developed, only in the prototype level, not gone to the end user. Right. So we can do a lot of work even in the Sri Lankan context in this area, but there are different challenges, especially lack of collaborations. Now, medical professionals work themselves, but engineers and technologists, they work themselves, but we have not worked together. But in the University of Moratuwa, we thought that, and even one of the objectives of the establishing medical technology department is to prepare a platform to work together. And even in healthcare infrastructure related to medical technology is not that in the advanced level in Sri Lankan context. And in some areas there are experts and training should be there. And of course we know that regulatory approvals, even if we develop a system, how to get a regulatory approval is kind of a mess. And also based on, because of the economic considerations, we have some issues in the Sri Lankan context. So how can we overcome these barriers? So as a nation, we need to nationally related R&D for medical technologies. And we need to have interdisciplinary collaborations. And like India does, we need to focus our own technologies. For that, government support is required. And also, we need to strengthening especially local manufacturing ecosystems as well as, if possible, export capabilities. So, in a changing world, technology is not an exception. It is the essence of healthcare. And also, innovation in medicine is not tomorrow's promise, it is today's responsibility. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those insightful thoughts. Now let me invite the President of Galle Medical Association, Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, to present our guest of honor with a token of gratitude.
Next up, we are privileged to have with us here on stage an aspiring surgeon with pioneering contributions to both academic and clinical practice as our chief guest for today. Professor Kuda B. Galkatia, former professor in surgery at University of Peradeniya, associate professor at University of Monash, Australia. To formally introduce him to you, let me invite Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, President of the Galle Medical Association, onto the podium.
It is my privilege and honor to introduce our chief guest of this evening, Professor Kuda B. Galkatia, a distinguished academic, consultant surgeon and past president of Galle Medical Association. He received his early education at St. Anthony's College, Kandy, and graduated from Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna in 1986. He won the gold medal for best overall performance in the final exam and the medal for medicine. He went on to achieve his Master of Surgery Part 1 examination with the P.R. Anthony's gold medal and pursued overseas training at Westmead Hospital, Australia and the Whitington Hospital, United Kingdom after successful completion of Master of Surgery at PJM Colombo. He was board certified in 1994 as a consultant surgeon. He holds several membership in professional associations, which include fellowship from Royal College of Surgeons, Edinburgh, Royal Australasian College of Surgeons, College of Surgeons, Sri Lanka, the Association of Minimal Access Surgery of India, and the Endovascular Society of India. He has served with distinction as a consultant surgeon in the Ministry of Health with long years of experience in laparoscopy, open surgery and endoscopy. He was the president of the Gold Medical Association in 2006 and served as a professor of surgery at the Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya. At present, he is an associate professor at the Monash University, Australia, and he works as clinical director of surgery and consultant surgeon at Mildura Public Hospital, Australia. He has contributed immensely to academic medicine and has trained and examined number of postgraduate students in training in surgery, in addition to his long years of undergraduate teaching and examination. He also has over 75 publications to his credit and has delivered 2 orations in minimal access surgery. Dear sir, on a personal note, I am so proud to happy to have you as the chief guest today. My own relationship with the GMA began during your presidency in 2006. I certainly remember how much effort you made to introduce laparoscopic technology to the then teaching hospital Karapiti, and started complex laparoscopic surgeries. As a GMA president, you organized several workshops for doctors and nurses on laparoscopic and vascular surgery. And you were kind enough to invite me as a resource person for those programs. That opportunity helps my professional growth and promotion. And it also strengthened my close relationship with the GMA. For that, I remain deeply grateful to you. Dear sir, it is great honor me and to the Gold Medical Association to have you as a chief guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a very warm welcome as I invite chief guest Professor Kudabi Galkatia to deliver the inaugural address. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Marikrama. Hope you're getting my voice all right. Is it some? Oh, you're right? Okay. And thank you very much, Professor Marikrama, for kindly introducing me to this distinguished audience. And it's an honor to be your chief guest, while being not a guest to this place by any means, because I have many of my strong roots from South. Yeah. I'm not getting the slide. Oh, okay, right. So, Professor Samaravikrama wanted me to speak on few developments that occurred during my stay in Gaul related to technology coming into medicine, to keep up with the theme today. And I think I'll first show a bit of a broad picture. As a student of the third batch of this faculty, I have seen a tremendous growth in the teaching unit, that's the faculty and the 2 teaching hospitals over the years, achieving all these goals. Yeah, sure. Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's the broad picture. But the more narrower picture is whatever I contributed to the development. But even those I see as a reflection of how I have transformed other people's knowledge and skills to be at the cutting edge. And to best of my knowledge, I think out of all degrees, it is the medical degree which utilizes apprenticeship or job-based training to the maximum. And when it comes to postgraduate training, I think it's nearly 100%. And while the Ministry of Health hires the universities to produce doctors and medical specialists to man the hospitals, in reverse, the universities utilizes the hospitals and its staff to provide this job-based training. So even though there are two administrative units, I think functionally just one CCTM. And therefore, development in one unit has to have parallel development in the other unit if it's going to be meaningful. So both have to develop together. And also over the years what I have realized is even research, if it's collaborative between the two, it can become more meaningful clinically. So this is my alma mater. When we came to the third year, the university was finishing construction, so we were housed in this small block at Mahamudra, and the hospital was just at inception. I think there were only 2 functioning medical units and prof-unit pediatrics, and all other clinical appointments were at this general hospital Gaul at Mahamudra. And by about the 4th year, mid-4th year, we shifted to this the big structure, the majestic building. We were very proud to come in, but still I admire the small block where we started, because I see that as a very efficient university building, just one lecture hall serving for 3 batches and one lab working on demand for pathology, parasitic biology and microbiology, pathology, micro and parasite, and very limited number of staff. And this huge jump into a large facility, I think will reflect in more research output as well as more focused, small group, meaningful student education. And qualifying from here, getting into the ministry and going through my training, my initial service as surgeon was in regional hospitals, mainly Mathura, and a lot of work, just 2 surgeons each station. But I was very fortunate to come to teaching hospital at my early career, because at that stage, due to some regulations of the Ministry of Health, there was a reluctance of consultants to come to teaching hospitals. But I was lucky. I wanted to come to a teaching hospital because I liked to teach students, and I had an interest to develop a special interest area, and my choice was vascular because I had a training as well as the need. Those days, vascular services for the entire country was provided only at Colombo and Peradeniya, prof-unit surgery. But just to make another note, during my latter part of career, when there were vascular trained people, many of my trainees, I slowly withdrew from providing vascular services except doing emergencies, because I always like to work for the need and for the demand. And also, so that's a bit out of box, but anyway, so by this time, there was a challenge surgeons of our era faced. The great influx of medical technology, the advances in technology into medicine. For surgery there are many, but the main things were endoscopy and minimal access surgery, for which we didn't have a training during our postgraduate career. So that's why I say development in one field should have parallel development in the other. If you have a service requirement, the training has to be parallel. But anyway, we face this challenge of performing things through a keyhole without opening the door. So I guess you see that it's not that easy, but I believe once trained, anyone will enjoy this. So with these challenges in mind, I thought that I have to change the pathway I'm coming. And also, my intention of this talk is not to merely show what we did, but how we did it, the method. So I knew that I have to come out of this academic isolation of performing only things which I was trained to do. But now I have to learn from other people's skills and knowledge, and also to be somewhat innovative, being within safely limits for patients. So for relearning vascular, I went back to Professor Sharifudin for his Friday theatre list. And for new learning for endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, at that time it was available only at Kalubowila. So every Wednesday I went to Professor Mohan D. Silva and learnt it and managed to start vascular and ERCP services in Gaul. And with regards to laparoscopy, I was doing the basic work even at Mathura, the gallbladder and appendix, but my interest was to do complex surgeries. So this time, everywhere in the world this technique was developing. So surgeons of Avira had to be a bit innovative. We knew the open technique and we knew the principles of laparoscopy. So we had to do a bit of a translation, which was very challenging, taking long time and has to be safe for the patient. But still, in the early phase for Sri Lanka, from Gaul, we managed to report the first cases for laparoscopic colorectal resection, laparoscopic repair of perforated peptic ulcer, as well as thoracoscopic mobilization of esophagus in esophagectomy. And going into the chest, so before that, so there was another challenge. We had to teach while learning. We were on a learning curve and teacher training, so it can be something like this sometimes. So I didn't want to do that, I thought I would do better. And there were some pioneering centers in world in advanced laparoscopy. So I'm grateful to College of Surgeons for funding for fellowships. 2 fellowships actually nearly going over 3 months and many workshops in India. And with that backup, we continued colorectal resections, and also for Sri Lanka, the first report of laparoscopic splenectomy was from Gaul. And then chest, again the first full laparoscopic esophagectomy for Sri Lanka was from Gaul. And you will see this patient, we have saved a big thoracotomy and a laparotomy, and this white small plasters are only the keyholes we have made. And to compare, there's a big plaster on the neck, which is of course over the central line of the anesthetis. And when the patient woke up from anesthesia, thought surgery happened there. And then taking this to train, is the traditional apprenticeship based model adequate, or should we think further? So I read this paper at College of Surgeons and proposed a model to use simulation as well as workshops and videos and as an adjunct to the traditional training. So working on this, we started the first simulation center funded by PGIM as well as Ministry of Health, and we purchased a trainer from India. I think those days it cost 50,000 or 75,000 rupees, and also another trainer as a donation from Ethicon. So these are basic ones where people can practice hand-eye coordination. But going a step further, we managed to get 2 dummies for free from closing down textile shop. And the technical part for me was done by Dr. Janaka Ruben, who is in the audience. And with using some webcams, I had to spot out just less than 1,000 rupees. And then these monitors, we got 3 brand new TVs as donation from Singa Sri Lanka. And late Professor Tilak Veerasurya did this model for me free of charge. And then we did real simulation programs for our trainees. And also live surgery workshops, we arrange a couple with external experts coming to Gaul, twice from India, and from a wider audience to watch with comfortably and well, we transmitted the live surgery from theatre to the GMA lecture hall. And for this, we developed a dedicated line. Actually, SouthNet, Mr. Madugala did that for us. And nice to see him today, actually. And so there's a fixed line. Anytime we do a live surgery, it's just a matter of fixing the cable to the monitor and transmit to the GMA lecture hall, both from theatre as well as endoscopy. And once Sri Lanka Telecom, free of charge, they did, because they was trialing this, using internet, they did a transmission, live transmission from theatre to endoscopy. So a lot of people collaborated. So that's the importance of collaborations, actually, which was mentioned by the previous speaker, that collaborations between different disciplines is very important if you are going to progress, especially with technology. And for all these workshops, actually, GMA was a platform. And at that time, even in IT, basics like even Word documents, PowerPoint, internet was new for many, including myself and research writing. So I saw a lot of resource in the faculty and organized 2 courses in IT and research writing going for a couple of weeks. And faculty has actually, I was in the Ministry of Health, but faculty has helped me a lot with their resources. Even running then it was called MS exam. I was in the ministry, it was a university exam, and the Department of Surgery and the preclinical and paraclinical departments helped me a lot. It's nice to see Professor Nanakar here, the way he conducted at the anatomy block. The foreign examiners who came from UK, they were impressed. They took a lot of photographs to go and show back home. So anyway, so it's, let me congratulate GMA for doing this, having this platform for CME, and also having a journal on regular basis to publish, as well as sessions for CME, as well as present research. So getting back to the larger frame, with the faculty moving hugely, the 2 teaching hospitals also have progressed over the years, from simple general hospital structure to state-of-art multidisciplinary tertiary referral centers. And just a word about the Victorian Trauma Project. And I'm fortunate and also very grateful to Professor Aryan, who was a key person behind that, as well as the hospital administrators who trusted me to coordinate many things. Just 2 highlights. So there's so much. I mean, it's writing a book. I think Prof has written a chapter on that. So visiting teams from Alfred, they stayed with us working with doctors in the ETU, so to facilitate them, workshops, many things. And the the equipment came as a very big donation from the famous USAID, and there was a mandatory requirement for us to get it. We had to do a community project, and they suggested that we do a trauma education project for 50 schools. And on this picture, you can see my former senior registrar, Dr. Samanithirum, is a surgeon now, Nirmala, anesthetists, and also Sureka. And it's nice to see Seruka Samanbali is still assisting the administrative work of GMA, and Dr. Manjula Kuratne helped me to do the material, because we had to do a booklet and a CD and a copy to each student participating. So anyway, coming out of this box, going to Peradeniya, I'm also just mentioning this just to show the importance of collaborations. I got a rare opportunity a surgeon will have in life. I was in mid part of my career, and just for 3 to 4 months, I had the opportunity to work with the eminent surgeon of the country, Professor Ratnatunga. He was doing a lot of open thoracic work, because he had a training in that. So always I used to assist him and learn from him. And very soon, with his help, we managed to convert all the open thoracic work he was doing into minimal access. I don't know whether you'll note, there's something called cardiac denervation. You might think, what? It was done on the request of cardiologists. And in fact, we got referrals from the premier hospital of the country, National Hospital Cardiology, coming referred to the small hospital at Peradeniya. And then, just one thing on that, the leading surgical journal of Australia, there's a segment called How I Do It for Innovative Techniques, and they have accepted our technique, which we did for thoracoscopic assisted excision of retrosternal goiter work from Peradeniya, with a audio visual, a supplement coming with that. And I'll just, as you know, a large retrosternal goiter we'll need a median sternotomy or a lateral thoracotomy, pretty morbid procedure, and we managed to do with keyhole, and I'll just share the edited video which will come in the journal. So you can see the lung is collapsed to get space, and we are working along the zygous vein and the superior vena cava, just dissecting it off the great venous structures. So this is technology in surgery, because without technology we can't do this, the monitors and even the equipment for hemostasis. So there's a lot of technological advancements, and this is my senior registrar's hand coming from the neck incision under the superior vena cava and the brachiocephalix, grabbing the dissected goiter, pulling through the neck incision. So totally incisionless except for the tiny ports. And even with the previous talk, we understood that the world is moving very fast, with engineering coming in a great way to every area of life. I just wonder whether engineers will control the entire world in future. So automation, and so artificial intelligence is already tested in dermatological diagnosis and radiology reporting. And the surgical robo, currently a slave, but getting involved in some robotic work. I will not be surprised very soon the biomedical engineer will make the robo the master and make the surgeon the slave. So there's a lot of demand for work, learning new techniques, new technology, and life sometimes can be very stressful. So I think in medical education it's very important to think human factors involved in treating patients and to address those to develop a positive, very strong psychology, and also maybe psychological support systems. So just looking back, I think we have to move on. I did these slides on my Apple computer, and on transmission some things have happened on the fonts and it will be like untidy like by surgery, but hopefully I can cover up with a nice suture. But anyway, so we have to keep on moving, like acquiring new technology, and the training has to be focused for future, to be parallel. And then I don't think we use simulation enough. And it's quite interesting. I showed the model done by Professor Tilak Veerasuriya. It's about 25 years ago. And like 1 month ago, I visited a robotic training center in Melbourne, a simulation center, and they are using this type of models made of some material, fibrogel or something. I can't remember. But it's so simulation I don't think we are using enough. And in surgery, another thing, being the president being and also secretary from anatomy, I think the anatomy, the sort of cadaveric dissections are very important in surgery. I think we are not using it enough for postgraduate. And then of course, CME and research, very important. And audit. Of course, we have audit, but I'm just not proposing this, but just my experience, because I'm working overseas, the audit there is more regular, and it is more like, I would say intense or more thorough, but not for medical legal implications. And of course, one might wonder whether it makes one more stressful, whether we have to be extra careful. No, I think we are all trained to be extra careful because we are dealing with lives of people. So what audit does is, when it gives a constructive feedback, it just makes us better, that's all. And anyway, and also think of soft skills, human factors involved. Not only the technical skills, the non-technical skills are very, very important. especially in surgery, but I'm telling it especially surgery because of my ignorance of other fields. I see a lot of eminent thing. My teacher, Professor Aryan, is here. I got a medicine distinction in medicine, but I thought to do surgery. But anyway, and I still see that same smile in your face. So soft skills are very important. But anyway, this is the academic part. But for us to progress, there's another side we should never neglect. That is to take some breaks, holidays, and blend with nature. And this photograph is again by Dr. Janaka Ruban. He was intern with me, he gave this to me. And even today I drove across Fort because I didn't want to miss a place that we have visited in our younger days so frequently. When I went, there's nothing changed. Then I had a look at myself on the mirror. Just a deep sigh. But anyway, I see this person diving sometimes just like a surgeon, doing a very risky thing, but with good training and proper risk assessment, one can sail safely. So it's very important for us to train ourselves properly. Take extra care, do proper risk assessment. But it is even more important to train others, because the day we step down and relax, the legacy will continue. Pushing the boundaries further, trying to reach the horizon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Once again, I invite Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, President of the Gaul Medical Association, to present our chief guest with a token of gratitude.
Achievements speak for themselves, but awards celebrate the spirit behind them. With that, we now begin the award ceremony. To present these awards, I would like to invite the President of Gaul Medical Association, Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, to join us on the stage. And now let us begin the first set of awards, which are for the presentations at the Young Specialist Forum of Gaul Medical Association, a platform designed to foster professional development among senior level trainees. Among the impressive array of presentations from senior registrars across multiple specialties, the award for the best presentation goes to Dr. Rajit Eranga, Senior Registrar in Otorhinolaryngology, National Hospital, Gaul, for his presentation on fungal sinusitis, unmasking the silent invaders. The second place goes to Dr. Janita Vikramaratna, Senior Registrar in Internal Medicine, National Hospital, Gaul, for his insightful presentation on Blinded by Disease, a clinician's guide to optic neuropathies. And the third place goes to Dr. W.J.M.M. Tilina Kulasiri, Senior Registrar in Psychiatry, National Hospital, Galle, for his presentation titled Grief in Medical Setting, The Elephant in the Room. Unfortunately, Dr. Tilina could not join with us here today. Our next recognition is for the Best Presenter at the Postgraduate Medical Registrars Forum of Galle Medical Association 2025, which is awarded to Dr. Sharini Solanga Arachi. The Merit Certificate for the Postgraduate Medical Registrars Forum 2025 is awarded to Dr. Mahela Munasinghe. Our warmest congratulations to all the winners, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the oration stands as the pinnacle of any event in any scientific forum. Therefore, let me now invite the President of the Galle Medical Association, Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, to introduce the orator of the 84th Annual Academic Sessions of Galle Medical Association to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the President of the Galle Medical Association, I am pleased to have the opportunity to introduce our orator of the evening, Dr. Avindra Jayawardena. Avindra Jayawardena gained his school education from Richmond College, Galle. He was an exceptional student during his school years. Being a college prefect, member of the school Western Band, and was the all-Ireland best inter-school English orator in 1992. He obtained his medical degree from the Faculty of Medicine, University of Rona, with second-class honours, and was an active member in many extracurricular activities as a medical student. He completed his internship at Sri Jayawardhanapura General Hospital, Colombo, and thereafter joined the Faculty of Medicine, University of Rona, as a probationary lecturer in medicine in medical education in 2006. He was provided a full scholarship by University of Edinburgh to do a master in clinical education, which he completed in 2010, and thereafter he completed a master in health professions education at the University of Glasgow in 2017. Dr. Jayawardena is currently the only medical educationist in Sri Lanka to possess formal training in clinical education. He has a diploma in family medicine and is also involved in the family medicine training of medical undergraduates. He has made presentation of his research findings in medical education conferences in Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Singapore, Malaysia, Edinburgh, Glasgow and USA. Dr. Jayawardena was awarded the International Fellowship in Medical Education by Foundation for Advancement of Medical Education and Research. And he currently functions as the head of the Medical Education Unit, Faculty of Medicine, University of Rona. As an educationist, Dr. Jayawardena has been involved for 12 years in educational methodology training, of over 400 probationary academic members recruited to the University of Ruhuna under the CCPDHE program. He was also the director of the Staff Development Center, University of Ruhuna from 2018 to 2021. Other than his services to the Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna, he has provided training and expertise to the Faculty of Medicine, KDU, when it is initially set up. He has also been involved in training academic staff at the Aga Khan University Medical School, Faculty of Medicine, University of Lahore, and Khyber Medical College, Pakistan. On a final note, he is a fascinating individual, and we are grateful for his presence among us today as the orator. Without further description, may I now invite Dr. Avindra Jayawardena to accept Orator Medal and deliver the Gold Medical Oration for the year 2025.
I'm just waiting until, okay, this comes, right. Thank you, sir, for those words of introduction. The chief guest, Professor K.B. Galkatia, the guest of honor, Professor Ruwan Gopura, the president of the Gold Medical Association, Professor Samaravikrama, council members, past presidents, members of the GMA, the Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna, distinguished invitees, dear colleagues, friends and students. I am indeed humbled at the great honor given to me to deliver the GMA Oration 2025. I thank the council members for extending this honor to me. This oration has been structured into 3 segments. So in segment 1, I will touch on the technical revolution and innovation. I am thankful to the 2 speakers before me because they have made my work easy and they have laid the foundation. So I'm just going to touch very briefly on that aspect, and then we will move on to the second aspect, that's research evidence, and then we will afterwards go to stage 3 where we will look at how we can change our mindset, organize our mindset to make the best of what's happening. So we spoke a lot about medical education, but what is medical education? Very briefly, it's a lifelong training, a multi-stage process designed to equip health professionals who are in training and to equip them in knowledge, skills, attitudes and behaviors. This is an interesting statement by an education psychologist. If we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow, which means it's extremely important to be updated on a regular basis and to change the way that we teach. So, very briefly, let's look at how medical education has been evolving, right? The speakers before me touched a lot about healthcare and how healthcare evolved, but I'm going to touch very briefly on how medical education evolved. So, I guess all of us have been like this at one stage, where we were learning from the blackboard, then came the whiteboard. Some of you might remember this, the overhead projector. Then we had the multimedia projectors, and then now we have the interactive digital boards. And then we move on a little bit from here into virtual reality. So, virtual reality is not just in the healthcare center, in the hospital, but think about medical students who are being trained with virtual reality. Virtual reality is dissolving the walls of the classroom and transporting the medical students from their lecture halls to the bedside. So they can be in the medical faculty, but the walls are dissolved. They can be transported somewhere else. And they can imagine that they are actually there and start working as if they are doing surgeries, as if they are examining. So that's the way things are evolving. They can even go inside a body, inside a tumor, go through arteries, go through various organs virtually. So there are 3D models like this that are being developed. Augmented reality, where things can be superimposed on what is already outside. And we can use that for training of medical students. So that was a little bit about how healthcare education is moving. But think about what the previous speakers said, how healthcare is developing, the different innovations that are coming in. Do you know that we need to train the medical students to handle all this? We need to prepare them for that future. And that happens in medical school. So, robotic surgeries, AR surgical navigation, smart catheters, smart infusion pumps, neuromodulation devices, point of care testing devices, AI powered pathology scanners. So many things like this are happening. Now, the important question that I'm asking you is, we can see there is a huge revolution happening. But why is this revolution happening? And we can all see this revolution is occurring because of technological innovation. Now, when we look at technological innovation, everything is changing very fast, which is good in a way, but it can also be bad. Why? Because it's like we all know the word double-edged sword, but I'm using the term double-edged scalpel because today we are dominated by surgeons, right? So the double-edged scalpel, it can heal, but it can also cause destruction if you are not aware that there is a cutting edge on the other side. So if this is tricky like this, how can we ensure progress and avoid the pitfalls? So that's why I have termed this oration the double-edged scalpel, technological innovation and medical education, ensuring progress, not pitfalls. So if I ask you, what is the cornerstone for this revolution? What would you think? What is the cornerstone? What is the change agent? Or in Sinhala Mulgala, what is powering this? And I would say it's artificial intelligence. That's the thing that's powering all these rapid innovations now. So what is artificial intelligence? It's the science and engineering of making computers behave in ways that until recently we thought require human intelligence. Another interesting quote. The next generation of doctors will be defined not by what they know, but how they can navigate AI systems that hold knowledge. So you get the AI systems holding knowledge, how can we train them to navigate that? That's the thing that will determine whether the next generation of doctors are successful or not. So how are machines doing this? Can they actually think? Can they analyze like us? Do they have feelings? All these are questions. And these are some technical terms where my professor would probably relate more with this: machine learning, data mining, natural language processing, deep learning. So words like this. But what is actually happening is because they are gathering large amounts of data, identifying patterns and making algorithms. So with the data, they are evaluating and making patterns. And when we indicate to the machine that when one pattern is correct, that algorithm gets dominance, right? So it's about the right sequencing of things. And this is the architect of artificial intelligence, Geoffrey Hinton. And I was watching this in preparation for this oration. I was watching this 60-minute video, and there were some interesting things which he said. He says, all you need is lots and lots of data and lots of information about what's the right answer is. And you will be able to train a big neural net to do what you want. Learning algorithms interact with data, and the machine learns on its own, establishing new connections. And this was a bit tricky but important. He says, reasoning power improves over time, and AI can eventually take over. If you are using ChatGPT or any of these language models, do you notice that each time you use your Google login and you go there, with every search it improves and it starts giving you what you want, because those things are being monitored and algorithms are being developed. So they begin to know what your tastes and likes and searches are. So it begins to improve, right? So they continue to logically analyze and improve themselves. And it says that there is a tendency that they can even reprogram themselves. This is what the architect of AI is saying. So it looks like there is good and there is bad. So like I told you, phase 1, we have looked at the innovation, and the message that I am giving you is that the innovation has been powered by AI, artificial intelligence. And the message given was, if we are to succeed, we must train the doctors on how to navigate accurately. So that was phase 1. Phase 2, having laid that foundation, let's look at what evidence is saying, right? So we will look at some of the patterns that literature is showing and try to identify different hidden currents and dynamics that they present. And then we will also look at research done in our context. What is that proving to us? So if you look at this, you can see from 2018 there is a rapid acceleration of publications on artificial intelligence in medical education. So these publications are not just on medical artificial intelligence, it's on how artificial intelligence is being used for medical education. So we can see there is a revolution taking place. Now when I look at these articles, literature shows that there are two divisions. One would be the innovations. So what happens is, maybe a researcher has thought of something, an artificial intelligence innovation, they have implemented it, analyzed it, and they have seen what they can get from that. The other articles are perspectives, right? So we can see these two divisions. And it was interesting to note that quite a lot of articles were published on innovations, where they have actually implemented things. And 31% were on what they thought about things. And being in a medical school, if we look at the level where these innovations were introduced, almost 50% was in undergraduate medical education, right? So it shows that there is a lot that we can do for doctors and health professionals in training, even at undergraduate level. And what specialties were represented, again interesting to note that out of these publications, many were towards surgery, radiology, surgery, ophthalmology, neurosurgery. So many of the publications were towards that. So although we think that surgery is more hands-on and there is kinesthetic skills involved, it shows that artificial intelligence and technical innovations can be used in a significant way for those aspects, for the surgery divisions. So going through the literature that have been published, there were a lot of AI innovations described about teaching. And the main message is that one size does not fit all. Nowadays we know that we do a lecture, maybe there are 300 students seated, and we expect all of them to learn through that lecture. It's more going towards one size fits all. But things are now being tailored towards one size does not fit all. So let's look at personalized education. Let's look at what are this person's strengths of learning. Is he a visual learner? Is he an auditory learner? And then go more towards that. Where are the gaps? And build upon those gaps. So that's where artificial intelligence and machine learning is coming in. And then we get virtual patient simulators, body interact. So due to lack of time, I'm not going to play any of these videos, but these will train a student, interact with the student and train them on doing certain things and getting medical knowledge. Even critical thinking and decision making skills can be impacted. So this is the same. So we can see that there is a revolution occurring through simulation. It's about creating a safe environment for learners to make mistakes without consequence to patients. So the scalpel in surgery will not first meet the tissue. It will be done virtually. So the training happens virtually, where mistakes are for learning. It does not cause issues to actually a real person. So then we also get personalized learning platforms, intelligent tutoring systems. Like I told you, depending on the learner and what their strengths and deficiencies are. So these intelligent tutoring systems start building up these students. And this is another area where AI is playing a large role. Images which can be collated and large data can be analyzed and handled. So, I've been describing about papers that have been published, especially impacting areas of teaching and learning. So, AI can be used according to that for curriculum development. You can have the learning outcomes, feed the learning outcomes, the skills, attitudes, knowledge that you need to build, and then these AI machines, the large data sets will give you the curriculum, and then you can fine tune that curriculum. So it can work as a learning tool, personalized education, and be used for simulation. So with the developments that are taking place, our role as a teacher will shift. It will not be a sage on a stage like this, but it will be a facilitator using AI, guiding the students to learn. There were many innovations described in these papers for assessment. One thing was about narrative text analysis. Now all of us medical teachers know when we get students to do essay writing, reflective writing, analytical essays, it's a real task to try and grade them on it. But you can actually train algorithms and machines to do that, to see whether they have actually understood what they are supposed to understand. And then formative assessments, again, like I told you earlier, you can have individual learning platforms where you give formative assessments, identify the weaknesses and make new questions and give answers with that student to build up the deficient areas. Psychomotor skills assessment, we have spoken a lot, virtual simulators and video analytics. Even for surgeons doing minimally invasive laparoscopic surgeries, those can be recorded and the data can be analyzed. There can be large amounts of data, and with that the machines can analyze what are the things that need improvement. So video recording analysis can even be done. And also faculty narrative feedback regarding students' interns. It's about 360-degree feedback, or it can be feedback about your house officer. You can get maybe the consultant, senior registrar, SHO, nurses to describe about this house officer. What are the good things? What are the strengths? What are the things that he needs to improve on? And all that can be converted to text, and they can be analyzed and reports can be given, issued. So we can identify what are the things that he needs to improve on. Virtual OSCE can be done, but for us, I don't know, we might need 300 headsets for the OSCEs, right? Might be easier to get the things that are needed. AI used for automation of case and procedure logs. So many people argue that if you are using AI, that if we use it for documentation, it can free up time. So there is a huge debate going on about doctor-patient relationship, time for teaching others, but if you use it in a creative way, carefully, you can actually free up your time to spend more time talking to the patient and more time teaching, because documentation and other tasks can be handed over to AI-related machines. So when looking at research published about knowledge and attitudes, there were a lot of studies done on what the students think, what the consultants think about AI in medical education, and these reports as an undergraduate or a healthcare professional student. So again, some research was done on large language models to answer medical exam questions. So like we have our MCQs, essay, structured essays, OSPI. So can you get the large language models like ChatGPT and other language models to give answers and how their score can be done. So there were some research papers published on these aspects as well. So let me touch on research in the local context. All this I mentioned was research done internationally, but I am touching now on some research that was done here at Ruhuna. So in 2024, we did a study on our undergraduates, how they use artificial intelligence. And out of 256 medical students, ChatGPT was used by 58.2% and assistance from AI was obtained by 62.9%. 38.3 said they use AIs for assignments. Okay, so in 2024, close upon 38% said they use AI tools to do their assignments. And some of them have been caught doing it because they were reprimanded, they said, 12.1%. So we did another study this year in 2025, and that showed out of 300 students, 97% had used AI tools. And look at this. AI tools were for preparing assessments 92.3%. Can you see the rapid increase from last year 2024 to this year? Okay. Last year it was something like 68%, but now there is a rapid jump to 92%. But they were also saying that they can become over dependent on this. It might limit their clinical judgment, and that when there are variations, it's difficult. Also, with the students relying more on AI and their smart devices, there was another issue that was surfacing. A study done again this year showed, this was done in 2025, it will be published in the CMJ. It showed that out of 387 students, according to the social network addiction scale, 50.4% of Ruhuna medical students were addicted to social media. Half. And a significant association was found between social media addiction and academic performance. And they agreed that they were getting distracted even while on study leave because of social media. So they try to go into AI, get into social media, and they get totally distracted. This is another study that was done this year by us. And this showed that out of 470 students, 79.4% were found to have a scrolling time of more than 2 hours daily. They just keep scrolling their phone or a smart device more than 2 hours per day. And according to research, if you are just scrolling for more than 2 hours, that is an addiction and it gives rise to bad effects, right? So higher scrolling time was highly associated with low mental well-being and poor academic performance. So there was some research done by our staff members on artificial intelligence tools, how they answered questions that we gave the undergraduate students. And all this research showed that although artificial intelligence had access to a large amount of data sets, they could not actually formulate the accurate answers. Like if these answers were marked, it was just at pass level, just pass. No, it was at that level. And that may be due to the algorithms not developing as they were not exposed to our questions and answers. I believe if they were exposed to our questions and answers more, maybe this sensitivity would increase. So, these are some of the researches that were published by our staff members. So, looking at the global literature and a little bit of what was done here, what are the patterns that we are seeing? The first thing is, so this is the traditional model, this is the model technology driven AI model. So learning source here traditionally is the master physician or the teacher, where the medical teacher will teach and his personal experience counts a lot. But now it has shifted to standardized curricula, AI tutors, virtual simulation, big data, personalized tutoring using AI. All of you will know about skills, see one, do one, teach one. Probably many of you have said this to your students as well. But it's shifting on deliberate practice in virtual reality simulators on standardized patients until we are sure that they can actually do it. Standardization with the World Federation for Medical Education being very strict on quality and standards. Earlier it was dependent on the teacher, the resources available, but now due to the ability to administer questions to everyone at the same time, have virtual OSCEs and all these things, it can be more quantified. So data usage has shifted from individual memory to getting data from AI to analyze vast data sets. And there is also something happening where the close relationship between the teacher and the apprenticeship or guru and the medical student, that can deteriorate because the students can now search AI and find what they want. So especially with this personalized artificial intelligence learning models coming in, so that can happen. So we have looked at two segments of what I am presenting to you. We have looked at the rapid technological revolution, why it's happening, and then we have looked at AI, and we have learned that the best way to do is to teach how to navigate AI. And then we have looked at research evidence internationally and locally and had a brief idea of what's happening. So now comes the important part where I want you to reflect and think, where do we head from here? What we are telling students now is that we are checking for use of AI and they cannot get. But we all know what they are doing. I mean, some of them are seated here, right? They will get the answers from artificial intelligence data sets and they can humanize it. So you get one answer, you put it to the other answer and it humanizes it and then it cannot be tracked. So my question is, are we going to go along that road or are we going to change? And what is the way that we can change? Have we passed the point of no return? If we ask our students, no, you cannot use ChatGPT, you cannot use DeepSeek, you cannot use Bard, whatever. Do you think they will do that? Do you think we will do that? I think we have passed the point of no return. I don't know whether you agree with me. But I think what we need is a paradigm shift. It's not about integrating AI into medical education, whether it's an upgrade, whether it's a downgrade, but it's about a paradigm shift where we totally think differently about how we train our students. Just like, when the computer first came, and then you could print things at home, you could even print your own books. So it was a paradigm shift. Probably even when the calculator came initially, maybe people found it difficult to adjust. Can you take a calculator to school and calculate your maths? Will that have an impact on their mathematical ability? Yes. But then there is a way to structure it, a way to use it, a way to train the student to it. So I think it's a paradigm shift that's required. And what I can say is that, at the moment we are trying, in a sense, to keep AI over our head. We get all the data from here, but that's not right. We need to keep AI under our feet. And I want you to focus on this sentence. Medical education is no longer to fill a vessel with knowledge. We are giving the knowledge, we are teaching them, yes, but it's about forging a compass. How can you accurately forge a compass so that you create a skill in that student to navigate the ever expanding map of information? Get data, maybe from AI, maybe from Google, but whatever. But then you train them at higher levels so that they know how to assess, they know how to change their searches, they are capable of implementing different algorithms in the search machines by how they are searching. So I believe that we need to change our paradigm about how we train medical students. So there is always a debate whether AI will surpass us, whether even certain medical professions will become redundant. But then the human brain is more holistic. It has more lateral pathways, more emotions, responsibility, care, humaneness. Although the language models in AI show all these things, it's not actually there. They will give you the accurate words. So each of us have our emotions, ambitions, future goals, and we are on a journey in life. AI is not. So I don't think we need to get scared. I think we need to train our students on how to use AI for their studies, how to use personal tutoring, what are the questions you can ask accurately, phrase it to get the right answers, and from reading those answers, how can you learn more and ask more questions, and you go on learning like that. We must train them on how to use AI for clinical training, not just to find the differential diagnosis, but why? What was the thinking pattern? What were the data sets that were analyzed? And then think of, okay, what are the other thinking patterns that can be used? Ask questions like that from AI. We need to train our students on how to prime AI, because it has a huge range and you can prime it to get the things to work in a way that you want. So I am using all these words because what I am saying is wide range of intelligence possessed by AI. We need to train our students on how to toy with it, how to play with it, how to manipulate it, how to fiddle, fidget, tinker and manage that intelligence. That's a skill that we need to develop in them if we are to develop a compass that can navigate all the information. And I think we need to focus a lot on that. And we can think of AI as your partner, right? So just like you have your husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, AI can become your cognitive partner, where you can bounce things off, ask the right questions. You know, just like, you stay with your husband and wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend, you have to ask the right questions. You have to respond in the right way. And similarly for AI systems, you need to train ourselves and the students on how to have that cognitive discussion and critically evaluate the output. How do you critically evaluate it? How do you manage your cognitive partner? That's something that we need to train our students in. Or in other words, just like Aladdin did, learn the art of getting the genie to work for you. And I have purposefully put this because you see here that Aladdin is all muscular and looks strong, whereas the genie looks floppy. So he has to get the genie to work for him, but he is the strong man. And I believe we need a change in our mindset like that. And we need to reflect upon this, on how we can change our students to navigate the AI systems so that they will be skillful at getting what they want and learning. So we have come towards the end of this oration. This was some of the references that I used. I want to acknowledge my family members right throughout my faculty time here. They have been supporting me for the responsibilities here, my wife Asha and my children Avisha, Anika and Anarga. I want to thank all the deans of the medical school from 2006 to present. Why 2006? Because that's when I joined, and we work quite a lot with the dean's office in the work that they do. So I want to thank them for their support. I also want to fondly remember some of the heads of the medical education unit, Professor Nelum De Silva, Professor Vasanta Devasiri, Professor Kitsiri Patiran, Professor Sampath Gunawardana, and Professor Champika Bodhinayaka. And I also want to acknowledge all the academic staff members and department heads in the faculty and thank them for cooperating with the medical education unit, because sometimes with the workload they have, we tell them various things. And most of the time they try to support us in what we are doing. A special thanks to Professor Gayanli and again Professor Champa Vijayasinghe for helping in this research. And also the Medical Education and Staff Development Unit Advisory Committee members. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, sir, for those indeed insightful thoughts. As the clock ticks away the minutes and hours, we have come to the very end of today's proceedings. So let me cordially invite the Joint Secretary of the Gulf Medical Association, Dr. Lahir Prabodha, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Very good evening to all of you. The President GMA 2025, Professor M.B. Samaravikrama. The Chief Guest, Professor Kuda B. Kalkatia, former Professor in Surgery, University of Peradeniya, and Associate Professor, University of Monash, Australia. The Guest of Honour, Professor Ruwan Gopura, Dean Faculty of Graduate Studies and Senior Professor in Mechanical Engineering, University of Moratuwa. The GMA Orator for 2025, Dr. Avi Indu Jayawardena. The Dean Faculty of Medicine, Directors of National Hospital Galle and the German Sri Lanka Friendship Hospital for Women, consultants of both hospitals, academic staff members of the Faculty of Medicine, past presidents, members of the Council of the Galle Medical Association, inviters guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the President and the Executive Committee of the Galle Medical Association, I am indeed honored and privileged to propose the vote of thanks at this inauguration ceremony of the 84th Annual Academic Sessions. The Chief Guest, the Professor Kudabi Galkatia. Dear Sir, we are truly honored by your presence and deeply appreciate the wisdom you have shared with us today. Dear Sir, thank you for generously taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us. The guest of honor, Professor Wan Gopura. Sir, we are grateful for your enlightening words on your talk and the valuable time that you have spent with us this evening. A special congratulations goes to Dr. Avindra Chavadana, the Senior Lecturer and Head Medical Education and Staff Development Unit, Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna, for delivering an exceptional oration, and we are grateful for the research outcome you have shared with us today. Thank you for entrusting us with your scientific work for this year's GMA oration. Senior Professor Tilak Veeratna, the Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna. Dear Sir, we highly appreciate your encouragement and continuous support for GMA activities, and also for permitting us to use the faculty auditorium and its facilities. Let me extend my gratitude to the directors of the National Hospital, Galle, and the German Sri Lanka Friendship Hospital for Women, as well as consultants of the both hospitals, academic staff members of the Faculty of Medicine. So your gracious presence in this evening. Thank you very much. I take this opportunity to thank our past president of GMA, as well as presidents and representatives from various national colleges who have present here today. Your presence is a strength to us. I am pleased to inform you that we have concluded a pre-congress workshop on the theme of medical leadership and communication skills for medical practitioners, and we are grateful to all resource persons contributed for that workshop. As we look forward to tomorrow's scientific session, I would like to express my appreciation to all the guest speakers who will be sharing their expertise at various symposia and plenary sessions. A special note of gratitude goes to the judges and reviewers of the free papers and to the free papers and posters, and to the chairpersons of the academic session. Your support and commitment are integral to the success of this conference. To all the oral presenters, oral and the poster presenters, thank you for sharing your valuable research on our conference platform. The event of this scale would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. I would like to sincerely thank the following sponsors. So we had Galle sponsors from the Ernst Laboratory, the Serali Company, Nestle Sri Lanka PLC, Gmoa Interfarm, George Stewart, Dali Butler, Calby International, and USV. And also we had some important silver sponsors, the Pfizer Limited, Trovic Private Limited, AstraZeneca, Sun Pharmaceuticals, and also the bronze sponsors, City Hospital Galle, Hedges and Grips Private Limited, Spira, Mega Life Science, Beatrice, CCL Pharma, Roche-RX, Smith and Nephew, Helion, Astron, and Lanka Hospitals. Thank you very much. And also special thanks go to the Merck for being the sponsor for the pre-congress workshop. A special note of appreciation goes to all our service providers for their excellent work, the Southnet Technologies for event coordination, Vincent Flora, Hotel, the Hasara Hotel and Restaurant, Galle, Digiworld for preparing the backdrop, Print House for offset printers, Lighthouse Hotel, Galle, Global Events and Convention and Services, and Nilan Studio. Thank you all. I thank the energetic team of medical students of 46th batch for their extraordinary support given in organizing, being the personal assistants to the resource persons, being hall managers, and being the graceful usherers for this wonderful evening. A very special thanks go to the Medara Vikramasuriya and Chaitri Jayasuriya for taking the task of comparing at the inauguration ceremony and the academic sessions. Congratulations on your excellent comparing tonight. I am incredibly grateful to our office staff, Mrs. Sureka Samanmali and Mrs. Savitri Vijayasiri, for your deep commitment and dedication. An event like this would not be possible without your hard work. Thank you very much. I sincerely thank Mr. Tarindu Asiri, Ms. Roshika and Mrs. Rohini for the numerous ways of assistance in the arrangement of the event. I thank Mr. Surasena for being the mace carrier for the ceremonial procession. I thank the Assistant Registrar of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Rohan, and academic staff members, staff of the auditorium, maintenance, security and cleaning services for the helping hand extended towards us in numerous ways. I wish to thank the group of pre-intern doctors and medical students who will be performing shortly after this, so as well as at the fellowship afterwards. So thank you for making this event colorful with your beautiful voices, dance moves and instrumental amidst a very busy academic and clinical life. I would like to extend my deepest thanks to the President GMA 2025, Professor M.B. Samaravikrama, taking the leadership to make this event a success. My special thanks goes to the Executive Committee members of GMA 2025 for your unwavering effort, dedication, commitment and making this event a resounding success. Your hard work behind the scene has truly been the backbone of this occasion. There are so many of you who have worked tirelessly behind the scene to make this occasion a success. We thank you all for the support given. Finally, we extend our thanks to all of you, the ladies and gentlemen, for being here with us today, adding glamour to this event. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the day's proceedings. Thank you all to the dignitaries and at the head table. And now we would be heading on to the entertainment interlude.
have now come to the final few events of today's proceedings. And with that being said, I can already sense a
forget how some singers like Michael Bublé and some of our very own legends like Rukanta Gunatilaka get us all tapping to the mood. So tomorrow may never come. Kal ho na ho, my dear viewers. Therefore, it is only the present we have to enjoy and cherish with our loved ones.
From our traditions and our culture to sounds that will make you unwind and get your toes tapped into the beat, ladies and gentlemen, the following performance is by our very own demonstrators and medical students of Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna. Please bear with us for a few minutes as we set the stage.
पर जियो जो है समा कल हो न हो न मैं समझा न मैं जाना जो भी तुमने मुझके कहा है सेनोरिटा मगर फिर भी न जाने क्यों मुझे सुन के अच्छा लगा है सेनोरिटा
What an enchanting performance by our very own talented medical students and demonstrators of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna. Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for the performance, please.
As we draw this inauguration ceremony of the 84th Annual Academic Sessions of the Gmoa Medical Association to a close, we would like to share a few important announcements with you. The annual academic sessions will commence tomorrow at 8 a.m. and will continue over the next 2 days. Following today's event, we warmly welcome all our distinguished guests to a reception and fellowship in the auditorium lobby. Please note that the students will be served dinner in the canteen premises upstairs.
With that, we conclude today's proceedings. Thank you all for being part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing until the ceremonial procession has exited the auditorium. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.